of the game, almost to celebrate the fact that he now has the record for the most appearances of any Brazilian in Premier League history. Welcome back to Matchday Live. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm still joined by Joleon and by Paul, and we are just absolutely thrilled by the win, by the clean sheet, by the performance. Just, I'm absolutely over the moon right now. Joleon, why was I ever nervous?
I don't know why. I wasn't as nervous as you obviously in the build-up. I thought we'd win. That convincingly, probably not, but it doesn't surprise me. And it could have been more. It should have been more, to be honest. They had multiple opportunities to score.
I'm never nervous, as Natalie knows. I just think second half performance was outstanding, because Leeds got tough game first half, wasn't it? Yeah. Getting the second goal, another set piece, obviously. Worked out in the training ground, and sensational performance, especially by Phil Foden second half. And he was involved in all first three goals. Obviously, get the free kick for the first goal, take the corner for the second goal, and the pass for Gabriel Jesus for the third goal was just world class, and fantastic to see Fernandinho on the score sheet. So 4-0 win, that would have not surprised a lot of people. A lot of people before the game, Liverpool winning, would have been thinking this was going to be really tough. Can Manchester City stand up to it? 4-0, another clean sheet as well, away from home.
That was impressive.
Yeah, against a Leeds team that have not lost in their last 5 games, so unbelievable.
If I ever actually see you nervous, Paul, I think I will be able to handle it, because I genuinely have never. Yeah, right. We're gonna. If Paul's ever nervous, we are in trouble. I've never seen it. So let's hope that you're feeling the same when I see you on Wednesday night. So 4 goals for City today. The first one came in the first half. That was Rodri. We talked about that. Now, if we'd have all had a bet and said who was going to score the next 3, I don't think anybody would have come up with Ake, Jesus, and then Fernandinho. But as we know, goals come from everywhere in this team. So the second goal in the second half, was in the second half, Joleon. In the 53rd minute, it was Nathan Ake who scored it. Ruben Diaz with the knockdown, but it looked like an incredibly well worked, practiced set piece.
Yeah, it did, and you tend to see that in regards to the celebration. They kind of like embraced each other to say, we did what we was trying to execute, and great ball in to the back post and isolated the defender against Diaz, who headed it down, and so, what a finish. Like, that's a striker's finish there. So that was an impressive goal, to be honest.
It was the 18th goal that we'd scored from a set piece this season, Paul, which is the most of any team in the league. Does that represent the work that we're doing in training and everything else?
100% it does. I know they've got the set piece coach now who works really hard with them, and you can tell, you just got to look at the movement when it's wide free kicks and corners, that they're obviously working on something. They've got little hand signals in there to let them know where to go, what to do, and you can tell Ruben Diaz there, he's spun right round to the back. Phil's put it in the right area, and that's all you got to do. You get the movement right, get the ball in the right area, you've got a great chance, but then you've got to have the desire to get in the end of it and put it in the back of the net, and it's unbelievable finish from Nathan Ake.
And it feels like it's a nice way of highlighting to people that perhaps hadn't noticed Nathan Ake just how good he has been this season. Yeah,
he goes under the radar because the potentially is more glamorous names and also positions in the team, more influential positions. But he'll be so important to the squad, and the squad will appreciate what he does and what he contributes, because he doesn't play every week, but I'm sure his standards are so high in training. I'm sure he's a leader in the group in regards to making sure the lads are on it every day, regardless of what the team is, what the situation is. So them players are so important to a squad that's dynamic.
Then the third goal came in the 78th minute. It was Gabriel Jesus again. Another assist from that man, Phil Foden, Paul.
I don't know how he done. I would have dislocated my hip if I tried to do that. The way his body shape was and how he gets it out and the power he gets behind that pass, but the weight of the pass into Gabriel Jesus as well. That's what I know we're talking about at half-time before the game. It was world-class, wasn't it?
He's world-class,
There's very few players in the world that could have done that, what he done. 100%. And then you've got to give Gabriel Jesus credit, because his touch and his finish was fantastic. So it was more... The ball was put into him with such pace. His first touch run and goal was perfect, and then he's finished, and that man full of confidence.
Yeah, the pace of the ball allowed him to so much time, because it bypassed the defender, so now Jesus knows I've got probably longer than I would have normally, because the defender can't recover. So the fact that he did that and then the execution of the finish... Yeah, outstanding.
I just feel like right now there's nobody else in the team, and that is that's a massive compliment that I would rather the ball fell to currently than Gabriel Jesus.
100%. And again, that's that's what a striker brings. It's not the amount of goals, it's just that movement and recognising this is potentially a goal-scoring opportunity here, and obviously Paul will know better than me.
And it's believing that he's going to score. You know, he didn't have one chance today, so in his head he would have been a bit frustrated. And it's difficult to focus in the game when you're a striker, because even balls at his feet, he wasn't involved in the game a lot. His pressing yet again was brilliant, but to have that touch and that finish when he's not had a chance all game, and that confidence in his ability to do it, shows you that he's at the very top of his game at the minute.
Just love Phil Foden, just love Gabriel Jesus. Also, I put him in my fantasy team this week.
That helps.
Which definitely helps, which is half the reason I was so excited about the clean sheet as well, but we'll get on to that. Then we make a change. We bring Fernandinho on, where he gets the record for the most appearances for any Brazilian in Premier League history, and he tops it off, Joleon, with a 93rd minute, 20-yard at least, maybe more, outside the box, beautiful strike.
Great, clean strike, and slightly before that of what Raheem's gone through, and potentially a penalty, to be fair. So I think they're quite lucky that they didn't give away a penalty, because if he doesn't score, I think VAR looks at that and gives a pen, but take nothing away from the strike from Fernandinho.
And just what a man again. Another, we're talking about Nathan Ake, Fernandinho again, and absolutely every time he plays, without doubt, he's brilliant.
Yes, he's just he's been a top player for the last 10, 15 years now. It's not that shouldn't really surprise us that he's coming on and having influence in games. When he does start games, he's got a huge influence, and you can tell that the players love him as well. You know, when that ball went in the other way, they celebrated with him. But great finish. But I'm talking about Raheem, I thought he was fantastic today. You know, as in actually facing defenders up again and getting at them with his dribbling skills. And
he looked scary today, didn't he?
He did. And he was a threat all game. You know, and possibly could have had the penalty, but thankfully Fernandinho didn't need it. Fernandinho scored, and I'll go back to it. I think that's an unbelievable result. So a lot of people looked at today Leeds' form at Elland Road. How would we handle it? And we just blew them away.
I want to have a word on the defence as well, especially towards the end, Joleon, because we are 3-0 up, and they are still defending for their lives, throwing their bodies in, blocking. Ederson's made it a save. They wanted that clean sheet.
100%, and that's, as a defender, that's what you enjoy getting the most. And it's like strikers that when you're 2-3-0 up, or you've scored 2 or 3 goals, you still want more, regardless of what the situation is. So defenders want to keep clean sheets, and you could see I think it was the block from Laporte when Diaz and Rodri picked him off.
Like they scored a goal.
Yeah, I'd really enjoy that, and they've created that as normal now. So that is normal to celebrate them situations, because it means so much.
It's honestly one of my favourite things in football when a defender makes a big block like that, and then you see them celebrating. Also, considering the rotation that's been forced on the defence, obviously Kyle Walker not playing, Cancelo having to move over, Ake playing in the left back. It's like they've played together every game all season. Yeah,
again, the defensive side of the squad, say the 6 players you've mentioned, especially the centre half. So I'm going to say that is probably the 4 strongest centre halves I've seen in the history of the Premier League. Maybe not the strongest partnership. So you could argue that Vidic and Ferdinand were a better partnership. But if one of them was out, then it wasn't the same. I think if Van Dijk is out of Liverpool, it's not the same. Yeah, but if any one of our players is out, it doesn't matter. And I think that is a credit to the system, obviously the recruitment. But I don't think there's been a better 4 centre backs in one squad.
Especially when you think a few years ago, if, say, Vinny got injured or whatever, it was a position we really struggled in, as in the depth. So I think the recruitment that's been done in that position has been amazing. But the players have got to take credit as well, you know, because to get another clean sheet, and, you know, even though I was a forward, I love it when they celebrate, when they do something. And that's at 3-0 up as well. You know, it's at 3-0. It's not as if it was 0-0 or 1-0 and they're getting a goal to get back in the game. You know, the desire to keep a clean sheet from the whole team is up there and as good as the play we have with the ball.
Yeah, I agree. I just absolutely love it. Kind of final word on today, Joleon, because we are going to obviously have a look ahead to midweek in a minute. Paul mentioned that, you know, how people that result will go out to the people, how they may be surprised by it. Psychologically, what does a big win at Elland Road 4-0 at this point in the season, resting Kevin De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, what sort of message is that sending to ourselves and to anybody watching?
I think it's a similar message to both parties. It shouldn't surprise anyone in City. And disrespectfully, people outside will say, yeah, now it doesn't surprise me. Like, at first, it's like, oh, it's a tough fixture. Then when you win 4-0, it's like, oh, I expected them to do that. You know what I mean? So I don't think there's enough credit from outside of this group. But also within the group, it's like, well, we expect to do that. That's what we expect. That's a standard. Yes, and we're victim of that. We're guilty of that, should I say, when it's not as clinical as that. We are then disappointed. Hence, we beat Real Madrid 4-3, and we're still slightly, discouraged by that.
Yeah. Yes. No, I'm not discouraged. I'm not discouraged. I'm not. I should convince myself. Thank you so much. We are going to talk about the Real Madrid second leg in just a minute. Before we do that, earlier this month, Sean Wright-Phillips and the Premier League trophy visited India, stopping in Mumbai and Bangalore to meet City fans and also to visit our incredible Citizens Giving community projects. We're going to have a look at Sean's visit to a school in Mumbai where young leaders are using football to teach children about water, sanitation and hygiene. In addition, a water tower installed by Xylem provides clean drinking water for the children, keeping them healthy in school.
What's up, man?
Whoa!
She's getting good.
हम लोग जो ये प्रोजेक्ट कर रहे हैं हमारे कम्युनिटी में, हम अपने कम्युनिटी में इसके वाटर के बारे में सबको अवेयर करते हैं, पेरेंट्स के साथ सेशन करके ये बताते हैं कि हम लोग कैसे पानी के सिचुएशन जो हमारी कम्युनिटी में होती है हम लोग उसको कैसे सॉल्व कर सकते हैं.
Today, for me, it's been a fantastic experience. It's also been quite overwhelming, to be honest with you, especially with the welcome that I got from the kids, interacting with them and seeing what Xylem and the Magic Bus have been doing here.
In Mumbai specifically, we have a lot of water challenges, and basically it's about accessibility. In this particular school, we have installed a water tower which helps provide clean drinking water to the children here, not only to the children but to the communities around here as well.
जब से ये टावर हमने लगाया है तब से जो बच्चे थे स्कूल में जो नहीं आ पा रहे थे बीमारियों के कारण या गंदे जो उनको पानी पीने की वजह से हो रहा था इफेक्ट और उनका अटेंडेंस बढ़ गया और उनकी हेल्थ अच्छी होने लगी और इसी तरह से स्कूल का अटेंडेंस भी बढ़ गया और हमें भी बहुत अच्छा लगा और पेरेंट्स लोगों को भी अच्छा लग रहा है कि हाँ कोई उन्हें इतना सपोर्ट कर रहा है.
Through all my career, I've had support from people around the world that sometimes I've never met. And now to give a little bit back and help the younger generation, it means a world of good to me.
प्रॉपर बच्चों लोग के लिए एक इंस्पिरेशन है. बेस्ट मोमेंट यह था कि जो बच्चों के साथ में बैठ के उन्होंने पहला तो बच्चों के साथ में जो बैठ के फुटबॉल के रिलेटेड जो इन्फॉर्मेशन और बच्चों ने जो क्वेश्चन उनको पूछा अपना जो ट्रेडिशनल डांस है यहाँ का, तो ये सब मुझे देख के बहुत अच्छा लगा.
मेरे लिए यंग लीडर बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है क्योंकि मेरे को ये चांस मिला है कि जितना मुझे पता है उतना मैं अपने कम्युनिटी में बता पाऊँ, जितना मैं सीखी हूँ ऐसे अच्छा फील होता है मुझे कि हाँ कि अच्छा कर रही हूँ.
Absolutely love that video. And of course, this all forms part of the club's collaboration with Puma and Xylem this season, supporting football and safe water projects around the world. So, on Wednesday night, City will be taking on Real Madrid at the Bernabeu in the second leg of the Champions League semi-final. We will, of course, be taking a 4-3 lead into that game. Now the Leeds game is done, we can fully focus all of our thoughts and energy onto the Champions League semi-final, Joleon. I am so unbelievably excited. What sort of game are you expecting?
Similar to the first leg to an extent. Exciting, both teams playing to win because they have to. And that's the only way they play, to be fair. They haven't been this successful in the competition by not playing to win. Pep sets us up to only win, or to only try to win anyway. But yeah, I'm confident that we win this game as well as go through the tie. Obviously, we don't have to win the game to go through, but I think we do anyway.
The performance that we had against Atletico Madrid in the second leg gives me real hope. Not I don't have hope, but the fact that we showed a different side in that game as well, Paul. So I feel like whatever they throw at us, we will be able to combat it.
Yeah, it was experience, wasn't it? And I think we said after that Atletico game, maybe 3-4 years ago, the team might have crumbled a little bit under, or maybe kept going forward to try and get that goal, but they managed the game so well. But I think that the way Madrid are, it'll be a completely different game than Atletico. Yeah. I still expect us to dominate. And honestly, I'm buzzing for it. I cannot wait, and I'm so excited because I genuinely think we're going to go to Bernabeu and beat them. Yeah.
My heart my stomach just jumped like I was on a roller coaster. Real Madrid won the league today. They beat Espanyol. They rested a load of players. How might that affect the game?
Just confidence for them. But again, they would have expected to win. And obviously doing it, having rested players, it would just be confidence for the squad. But again, they'll understand what and who they're playing against. And there'll be long periods that they'll have to be on the back foot, because City just kind of have periods where they're just dominant, and it doesn't matter who you are. We've seen Liverpool, United. It doesn't matter who City face. There's a period in the game where City have sustained pressure in your half and in your final third. So it's whether they can hold out for that, because they're not great at keeping clean sheets.
And the onus is on them at home in front of their own fans, especially after what they did against PSG. What they did against Chelsea. Their fans will be expecting the same thing. So the onus is on them to actually come after us a little bit, which the way we keep the ball and the players we've got could be so dangerous for them.
If you are travelling out to Spain, very, very good luck with your travels. If you're watching from around the world, don't forget that We're Not Really Here will, of course, be on before the game. Matchday Live even. Crikey, Natalie just transported back a year and gave it the old name. Matchday Live will be here. No, I'm not nervous at all. I'm very, very, very excited. Paul and I will actually be travelling out to Madrid for the game. So if you're going, have a look out for us. We will be touring the city and looking for fans to talk to as well, of course. Also, Kel will be in the studio alongside Trevor Sinclair and Nadem Anua. So we do hope that you can join us on Matchday Live on Wednesday. So thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Joleon. You're going to Madrid as well, aren't you, with another broadcaster? So we're going to wave at you.
Yes.
We're going to look for you and try and
Royal Wave.
Royal Wave. We're going to try and hijack him and get him onto our show if we can. So City have won 4-0 against Leeds at Elland Road. We are back to the top of the Premier League where we belong. 4 games Blues, 4 wins in the Premier League, and we retain our title. We'll see you on Wednesday.